Have you ever noticed people like this? They walk into a room and suddenly it gets louder. Their voice is strong. Their gaze is confident. Their gestures are sharp. They argue as if the fate of humanity is at stake. There's just one problem. They have no idea what they're talking about.
And this isn't just arrogance.
Psychology has studied this phenomenon for years. Sometimes extreme confidence isn't a strength, it's a disguise for weak thinking. Today, we're breaking down the signs that often point to very low intellectual maturity. And yes, some of them might be uncomfortable. Let's go! Someone watches a couple of videos about crypto, and suddenly they're explaining investing better than Warren Buffett. This is the classic Dunning-Kruger effect. The less you know, the more confident you feel.
Why does this happen?
Because recognizing your own incompetence requires intelligence.
Imagine a world map.
An intelligent person sees it covered in blank spaces. I don't know this.
I need to learn more here.
This is complicated. A person with low intellectual maturity sees a small map and genuinely believes that's the entire world. Loud words. Polished delivery. Underneath, emptiness. An intelligent person is a lifelong explorer. At 30 years old, they might suddenly Google, "Why is the sky blue?" They're curious about economics, history, and human behavior. Someone with low intellectual maturity says, "I don't need that. I already know enough." That's useless. In reality, new knowledge threatens their ego. Because learning means admitting you didn't understand something before.
And that hurts.
It's easier to live inside a comfortable bubble and pretend the world ends at the border of your opinion. For them, the world has only two colors: right or wrong, friend or enemy, genius or idiot, nuance, context, complexity, too exhausting. Psychologists call this cognitive rigidity, the inability to think flexibly. These people avoid complex conversations. They need a simple system where everything feels clear and safe. But reality isn't a chessboard. It's fog, and you need mental flexibility to navigate it. A tiny spark and explosion. A long line at the store. A comment online. A small remark from a colleague. 1 second, and they're yelling. Intelligence isn't just logic. It's the ability to pause between stimulus and response. A thoughtful person asks, "Why am I angry?
What's actually happening?
Is this worth reacting to?"
Low intellectual maturity reacts instantly.
First emotion. Maybe thoughts later.
Maybe. The boss is bad.
The government is bad. The weather ruined everything. Parents didn't help enough. Colleagues are jealous. This is called an external locus of control. These people believe life happens to them instead of being shaped by their actions. Responsibility is heavy. Blame is easy. Victims rarely become winners. You say a movie was boring, that means you hate them. You disagree, that means you attack them. For someone with low intellectual maturity, disagreement feels personal. They don't debate, they fight. Because arguments require effort. You have to listen. Analyze. Question your own beliefs. That takes energy. It's easier to block someone. Easier to slam the door. easier to declare yourself the winner.
Low intelligence isn't about school grades or diplomas.
You can have 3 degrees and still think primitively.
And you can have no diploma at all, yet possess deep, flexible thinking. The most dangerous trap is that people with low intelligence almost never realize it. The brain protects the ego. It doesn't like looking in the mirror.
That's the paradox.
But if at any point while reading this you thought, wait, do I ever do that?
Congratulations! That's thinking.
Intelligence begins with doubt.
With the willingness to question yourself. With the desire to improve. And that matters more than any IQ test.
Now I'm curious.
Which of these signs do you notice most often in others?
And more importantly, in yourself?